Hi, I'm Michael.
And I'm Joe.
And we're both with Teach Construction, and really we're welcoming you back for another year or another academic year, since most of our customers like you are teachers. So we've put together a quick video to just talk about some of the new things that we've got coming out. We've both been incredibly busy filming new content, editing content, making new types of resources for you, and let's take a few minutes. Keep this short, but we'll take a few minutes and talk about them. So the first thing you'll see that's new is really a bunch of resources for floor framing. So Joe, why don't you talk a little bit about those?
Sure. A lot of our resources that we have made previously, I generate all of the images for those using SketchUp. This is a 3D modeling software. And we've gotten to the point to where we've had enough questions to access those that we've added them into our resources. So now you not only get all of our images that we make from these models, but you get the 3D models for you and your students to access. You can check it out, see all the details, zoom in, look at different views, different layers can be added and removed. It's a really exciting resource, especially when you're talking about something like, for instance, a floor frame, and you want to see it, and maybe in your space, in your training facility, you might not have a floor frame. Well, we have different examples of different models, and you can see all the parts and pieces.
Right, so right on your instructional resource library, in the framing tab, so those are the tabs down the bottom, in the framing tab, we've added all the floor framing at the bottom. So scroll down and you'll see floor framing resources. We have 4 different lessons. The basic floor framing, or principles of floor framing, was broken up into 2 different lessons. And of course you get the presentation and the quiz for that. There's a vocabulary document in there. You also have one on engineered floor framing, so same floor framing process but using TJIs. And we talk about open web trusses also at the end. And then the last one is about making openings in floors, so staircase, or I don't know, utility cord or chimney, things like that. So right in that section at the top of it, you'll see a link that takes you directly to the 3D images that Joe was talking about.
The beauty of these models is you don't need any software installed on your computer to use them. It's all just browser based. Click on it and you can use it right then.
Right. The videos that we made right when COVID hit, they weren't that great. They certainly were really good because you all, teachers, you were stuck. You needed something, and we wanted to produce these as fast as we could, knowing full well we were going to go back and fix them. Well, that's what we've been doing. So these videos automatically are available to you. So you might be seeing one video, an old one today, and in 2 days, all of a sudden, it's a new one. So we automatically update them as long as you're using the links that are provided to you through your instructional resource library. That's why those are so important. Another thing that we did that's really, I find it pretty exciting, in your instructional resource library, you now get 2 options. Well, really 3.
Right.
You get a link to the video. You now get a link to a video with embedded questions in it, and you can use that in your LMS. Or you get what's called embed code. So if you're using D2L, Canvas, Schoology, unfortunately it doesn't work in Google Classroom, but if you're using one of the other more sophisticated learning management systems, you could embed that video with questions right into your LMS. The reason that's of value is you don't have to have students click a link and open up another browser, or click a link and go to YouTube, or go to somewhere else. You can, if that's how you like to do it. If it were me, we really like to embed that content right on our learning management system.
And those interactive videos, they take a ton of time to make, and hopefully when you review one or several of those, you'll notice that they have a lot more depth than just a regular video does. It's in our minds, and hopefully yours too, they're a little more engaging for students. They help create a conversation about what's going on in the video. They give feedback on answers, and I think it overall gives a better experience.
What I like about it is it slows the learning down a little. So what happens in these videos, you'll see 2 different types. One, you'll see an interactive question just pop up, and that was our first version. Now we're going back and editing those, so we might be, or Joe in this case, will be covering a topic, and then it changes and we say, hey, hang on a minute, let's take a review question. Or it might be, let's slow the lesson down for a moment in time for a review question. Joe will then read it to camera. So the question is on the screen, student hears Joe reading it, And then the options pop up. So they can answer that question. If they get it wrong, we'll give some feedback. They can try again. They get it right. Then Joe will actually come back on screen and say, yes, the answer is blue. And the reason blue, and explain why. So the value of that is we're reinforcing key topics. We're slowing the learning process down just a little bit, but we're also making sure that student is engaged and not just listening or watching to a video, but not really processing that information. We are all busy this time of year. We're putting this out now in August, and we're only going to get busier as everybody's classes fill up. So if you reach out to us, we'll get back to you just as quickly as we can. We understand if we reach out to you, you might not get back to us right away, but make sure your links work. Make sure your subscription is up to date if it's coming up on a renewal date, and make sure you have fun this year.
So we're really excited about what's coming. I can't wait for this year. Let us know how it's going, and we'll see you soon.